Tony, a huge warm welcome to you. Where are you based and what have you been up to?
I'm currently based at UWC Atlantic in South Wales, working as a volunteer, trying to do my best to help out with the curriculum development at UWC Atlantic, helping out the different sort of module leaders.
Hi, my name's Libby.
And I'm Claudia. We're doing horticulture here. We're doing the garden landscape design route. We're on site at the Eden project.
So I'm Alfie Lockey. I go to XP school and I'm quite interested in that kind of plants, botany, mycology, all things to do with the natural world. I've always been interested in trying to grow stuff on. Yes, so XP works on the basis of expeditionary learning. We can all work together to create a product or something that's will last and have a lasting impact.
We tend to have lectures or in the classrooms, in the foundation building, in the labs, and then usually at lunch walk down to the biome.
So we were down there taking cuttings, and we've got a couple of trays in the lab seeing how best to propagate them.
Yeah. There's a huge range of plants here that you wouldn't really grow outside, and it's quite a unique environment because it is a whole biome, not just little plants in pots that you get in the greenhouse.
And obviously being next to the setting of the Eden project, it's very easy to go out and find an example of what we're being taught about in class. So if we're looking at the morphology of different plants, it's very easy to walk between the two different biomes and see how you might have big leaves in the rainforest biome with drip tips and small silverleaf plants in the Mediterranean biome, and see all those lessons in practice, which I think is really good.
Yeah, so it's not just a PowerPoint, you can go and see examples.
So this year, students were able to choose which sort of module of the Changemaker curriculum they would like to help with and experience. So there's everything from dialogue and peacemaking to coastal margins and reconnecting with nature as a separate module. And it's been really wonderful sort of seeing the students engaged in a learning experience that's not mandatory.
We've got little art installations to sort of talk about or represent the stuff we learned during that term. It could be made of wood, it could be we've got these big decorated paving tiles outside that are all made by the students.
The obvious point of education is, acquiring new information, but to me the more important part of education is just learning about yourself in the context of the environment you're in.
He does help a lot with public speaking, and so he helps you get rid of these fears. For example, if we can't really advocate for helping the environment if we're too scared to speak up.
As a student here, I got really involved with the outdoor department, and I tried a lot of different outdoor activities, and I found out that I was actually really passionate about being outside and doing adventurous activities in the environment that I really cared about.
Maybe a head gardener. Some sort of job where I'm really physically interacting with the plants, being outside most of the time. What I was doing before, and I find it's very motivating. That's really what I want to do. I want to be outside.
I think I might like to go on to do a master's somewhere, and then I'd quite like to go into garden design and working in a practice or in designing specific gardens for sites.
Since the environment's such an important thing, we need to teach and sort of ensure the next generation knows more about the environment or how to help the environment, so then we can actually do that in the future and possibly avert a climate crisis or stop it in its tracks.
I think getting people engaged in interacting with nature and gardening, especially for students who aren't really academically inclined, I think that would be a really helpful thing.
I think just being informed and making the best choices that you can as a person, as an individual.
You don't have to pay anything to leave the classroom and just go out, sit on the grass. I think it's really beneficial from everyone. They like a change of environment, and there's so much to talk about when you're outside. If you put a tiny bit of effort in, no matter what you're teaching, I think you can find a link to nature.
To get really hands-on and really inspired, I think that's a really good way to help people learn.